And we are live.
Nice. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another Too Stupid for a podcast.
Yes. This is episode 7.
And then this episode is going to pertain about superstitions, taboos, and what else?
And myths.
Myths
Yes.
slash stories.
Yes.
So kind of like give a kind of a review on what I believe in. I guess is I am my religion is shamanism, so we believe in like spirits and stuff and all these other stuff as well too. So every living thing has a spirit and such.
Yes.
So that's kind of my background. How about you, Stefan?
Um, I guess mine kind of falls in line as that too. Even though I don't really practice that stuff anymore. My family does though, and they kind of do. So, yeah, I guess more along the lines of like still understanding and knowing of superstitions and stuff like that, but not entirely believing in them, you know.
Now, like you're
Yo, what up,
like
Manner? How's it going,
halfway
buddy?
in, halfway out. Like, oh, do I really want to try out this new thing? Do I
Yeah,
not? Should I believe it? Should I not?
I mean, I really don't want to go on a tangent right now, so maybe we'll save it for the end.
just start off with a tangent at the beginning.
Dang, dude, like we always do. All right, so I guess we'll just jump straight into it.
Yeah.
Um, so let's put like a definition on it on our, especially because we are Hmong and Hmong people.
Yeah.
Most of them believe in either, or their religion falls between either Christianity or shamanism as the two big or two core ones.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll explain superstitions, taboos, and myths according to our culture.
Well, so I guess I'll tackle the superstition one. Superstition is just basically like kind of things that you shouldn't do, or like things that are like if you do like there's gonna be consequences that comes with it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like American superstition, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
like if you do something like let's say walking under the ladder gives you 7 years of bad luck.
Yeah.
Ours isn't really that huge of like 7 years bad luck. It's more of like you do this and then like your spirit or whatever kind of gets entangled of like
Yes.
things.
That's a good way to put it. Entangled.
Okay.
All right, and then well, taboos is kind of like that too, but I feel like taboos fall more along the lines of like people within the culture interacting with other people within the culture. So some taboos could be like, especially in the Hmong culture, is dating someone that is the same last name, or
Or even higher, be like marrying someone with
ooh,
the same
oof,
last name.
oof,
Major taboo.
yes, or I don't know what else. What else is there?
I mean, like I think it kind of goes with like their last name, I guess. I mean,
Oh
like
yeah, because
certain last names can do stuff.
yeah,
You
certain
know?
last names can't do certain things, or they can't marry certain other last names either.
Yeah. So I guess the taboos is mostly not like it's not like the whole Hmong population, I guess, or like the
Yeah,
Hmong core culture. It's like to like a certain clan or like to like a certain group of people, I guess,
yeah,
to like a certain degree. So
makes a
that's
lot of sense.
kind of like the taboos, I guess.
And then there's like a bunch of Hmong myths. So I don't know, just a bunch of different stories, I guess, of why you shouldn't do certain things and why certain things happen for this reason. things like that. Kind of like, you know, every other myth, like Greek myths or whatever, you know.
And then it's also like kind of like a lot of these myths, it doesn't happen in the United States, I guess. It's more like in like
Back in the
back in
homeland.
our motherland, I guess.
Yes, back in the homeland.
Back in Laos and Thailand, where like there's like myths that like it's just like stories that like kind of like teaches you a lesson and stuff. So kind of adds that superstition vibe to it, but then it's
Yeah.
also a story.
Or it can like elevate the superstition and stuff like that.
Yeah, it can enhance it. So
Hello, Alexa. But yeah,
so those are like kind of like the definitions, I guess.
yeah, a brief overview of each part.
Each thing.
Bro, you are mega laggy, just for you to know.
Thank you.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, internet.
I'm eating
But yeah,
some
so how
curry
about if we go
and
into
eggs.
the first question here? So
Alright.
one of the superstition is that do you believe in the superstition to not point at the moon at night? Well, it's like it will like once you fall asleep, it will like come and cut your earlobe or like cut like a piece of your ear.
I don't necessarily believe in it, but I just also don't point at the moon because of because of this reason. So it's like, do I want to believe and like if it happens, it happens, or do I want to just not risk it at all and just not fucking do it because I'm not that stupid, you know? So it's like I believe it but don't believe it because it's never happened to me because I've never pointed at the moon, you know? So I can't really say yes or no. There's no
like,
yeah, there's no experience, like first-hand experience, and I've never heard or seen of anyone else doing that and that happening to them. So
all right, cool.
How about you?
For me, I do believe it. Like I mean the reason why was like I got caught pointing at the moon. And then my mom just like straight up it started yelling at me. and then she told me like this chant so that like the moon doesn't come and cut my ear.
Yeah.
And then like it's also that, and also it's also the fact that like one of my cousins actually like experienced.
Yes, the moon is very pretty.
Like so he
really?
like pointed out, yeah. So he pointed at the moon when he was super young, and then like he like didn't do the chant to not
to apologize.
To apologize, I guess. And so like the next morning, like it didn't cut his earlobe, but it gave him a cut like on like the back side of his ear.
Oh yeah.
So then it wasn't. So it's just like, do I believe it? Yeah. I mean, I have the apology chant going, just in case if I do accidentally point at it.
Yes.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm safe. But yeah, so has it happened to me? No, but it has happened to somebody that I know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I've ever pointed at it and I realized that I did, like instead of, I remember people saying, especially like my grandma and stuff, saying that yes, there is a chant to do it, or you could like lick your fingertips and then rub your earlobe.
That's what I do.
Yeah, so you could do that as well. So if I accidentally was like, oh, it's the moon, and I'm like, oh crap, and I was like, just do it really quick, just in case, you know.
Just
my bad.
Just be on the safe side, don't want like no cuts by like my ear. Like I mean, like it's one of those things where like you haven't experienced it, but yet you're like afraid that's gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
So you're just like, on the safe side, let's do this.
Yes. Okay, that's the whole superstition does correlate with like a Hmong myth as well. Do you know what the myth is?
Yeah, I kind of do by like parents kind of my mom told me the story like way back.
Okay. Can you
So
explain it?
okay, so kind of like the story. It like I might have gotten this wrong because it's been a super long time.
Yes, it is very interesting,
But then,
Alexa.
so the story goes that like there was this demon, ghost, whatever, um, a witch basically. So the witch is like terrorizing the town, and then like this shaman, the shaman plays a trick on the witch, and then the shaman goes, "I'll raise you to the moon," right? And then like so the shaman grabs like this plant, this tree, and then the shaman goes, "I'll race you to the moon, and then if you beat me, then you get this plant or like this
Oof.
tree, right?" So then like they race, and then the witch wins, and then the witch gets the tree, but then the shaman puts a spell on the tree, so when the
Oh
witch
my
got
god,
it,
dude, that's scary.
the witch gets stuck up on the moon.
Yeah.
So the witch goes, the witch basically curses, I guess, the whole Hmong population, I guess.
Just the Hmong people, dude.
Just the Hmong people, I guess. Like, if anybody points at the moon, then, like, the ears would get cut.
Damn.
And
Tragedy.
so then that's why my mom tells me that, like, if you look closely up at the moon, there'll be, like a tree or, like, a stick or, like, whatever that's, like, standing out in, like, on, like, the moon.
Big
But then,
oof.
like, that could be the United States flag. Who knows? I've never
Right?
been up there, so that I can't say it.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
But yeah, so that's the story that my mom told me growing up. And then so that like if you ever point at the moon, gotta like lick your fingers, rub your earlobes.
Dang, dude, that's sad.
Then you'll be fine.
Yeah. So I believe it, but don't believe it because it's never happened to me. So we'll just leave it at that.
But then you're unwilling to risk it.
Yeah. 100%. So we'll just pretend it's not real, but we'll still do the stuff just in case.
Yeah, just to make sure nothing happens.
100%, bro. All right. What's the next question? I would read it, but it's pulled up in my Discord, and I have Discord full screen.
Okay, so the next question is: do you remember any frightening stories from your childhood? If so, what was the most frightening?
Ooh, there's too many, dude. I swear to God, whenever people want to tell scary ghost stories and stuff, I tell all of these same ones every single time, and they just get scarier and scarier in my own head. But I can't really tell if other people believe that they're scary. But to me, it's just like, whew, I remembered that time. But yeah, you can go first. I know you got a few.
I mean, like, not from my childhood, I guess, because like my family kind of like
the boogeyman.
Put all those Hmong scary stories, like kind of like put them under the rug and stuff, like, so they didn't really tell us any scary stories, I guess.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, there was one where like my mom and my older brother experienced. So by the way, when I say older brother, there's 4 of them. There's 4 older brothers. So like my 3rd oldest brother. So then like back in Thailand, they like share like this bathroom, right? And then it was like right after, like it was right after it was right after like the funerals. So then like so then what happened was then like the person that they did the funeral at, right? So then like so my mom and my 3rd oldest brother went out late at night at like midnight to go use the bathroom.
Tell us about Rashid.
So
I don't know that story, bro. I don't remember that story.
My 3rd oldest brother go use the bathroom first, and then like they'll switch, right? So my mom is in the bathroom, and then my oldest My third
I'm
oldest
not sure if I
brother
know that
goes,
one.
"Hey, that's Auntie whatever."
Oh
Right?
my
And
god,
like
no.
this auntie was the one that they did the funeral for.
Bro,
Like,
stop.
that she just passed away. So my mom is like freaked out. So then my mom stopped peeing or doing her business, and my mom gets out of the bathroom, doesn't even look where like my brother was pointing at, just takes his hand, just runs back to their house, back to the house, and then I'm just like,
Oh my.
that's
Dead. Dead.
scary as hell.
I hate those kind of stories, dude. Especially when they tell about back in the old days, like back in the motherland.
Yeah, like when like their houses are made of like
Straw.
it's straw basically, so
Yeah.
that you can kind of see what's
Oh my god, no. No.
So like my brother, like my second oldest brother, he's been trying to convince us to go back to Laos and
Hell no.
and then we always ask was like, so like, do they still have those straw houses? And then my brother goes, yeah, they still have straw houses. And so I'm like, if I do go, I'll go visit them in the village.
Yes,
But
where
at
they have
nighttime,
houses.
but then at nighttime, I'm coming back to the city and sleeping at the hotel because I'm not risking sleeping in those straw houses.
Hell no. Dude, those stories are the worst, dude. I swear to God.
I mean, like, I've like got another other one too, but like I just can't remember it right now. So,
What about anything that happened to you? Like,
ooh,
here.
here, ooh, a lot. Oh God.
Oh, like during college. Oh, tell the story about during college, bro.
Which one?
Dang. All of as many as you want. Or whichever one was the most traumatic.
Okay, so what is it? So in college, my freshman year, right? It's my first year. It's like my first week because my brother just bought his house there. So that's my first week there. I'm sleeping. Right, it's my first night there too. So then I like pack up, I like unpack all the stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I went to bed, and I get woken up at like 3 in the morning, 3 4ish, and then in the morning, and I'm like, oh shit, well, like what time is it? Right? So I did like that was chicken eyes where like you kind of like
Chicken eyes.
Where you open your eyes, like, it's not like fully open, but then you kind of still see what's going on.
Yes.
But then like I'm like listening, because then like I heard people talking, so then I'm like, oh, maybe my brother's still on the phone talking to his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And I'm listening, and then I'm like, that's not my brother's voice. And then it's like,
Oh my.
and then I realized that the noises that I was hearing was inside my room. And then I'm like, okay, so this is
Oh my
what's
God,
strange.
Angel.
Like, so that like this is why I did the chicken eyes, because I didn't really want to see what was going on.
Yeah.
So then I kept on listening closer, and I realized what they were saying was in backwards. Like
Oh my
they were speaking
God.
backwards. So in like the Hmong culture, just to let everyone know, is that there's like this little myth, I guess, story or whatever, where like if you hear people speaking backwards, like let's say a word, but they like flip it around and they're like, let's say
Oh my God.
book, right? The word book backwards would be cook or coop, right? So like they were speaking like that, like a full-on sentence, like I can hear like two people talking, and they were like talking like backwards, like full-on conversation. And I got spooked out. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just close my eyes because I still have my chicken eyes going. So I just close my eyes and I just sleep through the night and just like be like nothing happened.
Oh my God.
So the next morning I wake up and then I'm trying to use my laptop. Not like this one. It's my older laptop.
Yeah.
and then like I'm trying to use it, and like the passwords change.
Angel said, "How did you know it was backwards?"
No, like you just listen to it.
Yeah,
Like you just listen to it. Like I
yeah.
listened to at least good minutes, and they were speaking backwards.
Because
It's like
it just sounded unfamiliar, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like full on sentence. Like
Oh
it's full
my,
on sentence. Like they were having a conversation,
dude,
and it was
that's.
like full on conversation, but it was all in backwards. Like all the words was in backwards. And I found it wrong, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm done. I'm
Oh
done.
my
I'm done.
god, Angel.
So then the next one I'm trying to use my laptop, right? And I'm trying to use it, and then like I'm like, why isn't my password not working? Right? I'm like, help, right? My password's not working.
I'll ask him in a
And
second.
then like, and then I realized that like, oh shit, they might have changed my password.
Jesus.
But then like I'm like, you know what? Like, cause then like I like had that password reset on my USB drive.
Yeah.
So I plugged that in and I reset my whole password, and then after that it just started going downhill. Like I got sat on at least like 5 times in like the first month. Like it was ridiculous.
Oh my god.
I got slapped. I got like slapped on or macho or whatever, right?
Yeah.
For like almost like that whole month of September, at least like once a night.
Jesus
It was so
Christ,
bad. Like
bro.
it was so bad to the point where my dad was like, "You can't sleep by yourself in your room, and like you need to go sleep with your brother. Like you have your own bed, but then you just sleep in like his room."
Oh my
And then
god.
like I did that for like a good 2 weeks, and then finally stopped.
Oh my god.
And then like I can finally move back to my room, which was whew, rough times for me
For
there.
real, dude. Holy.
And then like another time in college, like this is all at the same house, all at the
Oh my.
same. So then like
Wait. Explain. Okay. Going back to when they were speaking backwards, were you able to like understand anything they said, or was it just gibberish because it was backwards?
um at first it was gibberish, but then I kept on listening to it for so long that I could kind of like catch on to certain words,
Oh
but
my.
I couldn't catch on to like the full on sentence. It's like it's like what is it? It's kind of like when a Hmong white listens to like a Hmong green speak, like
Yeah.
it like you kind of know what they're saying, but you don't really understand what they are saying. So you can catch some words, but not like the full on sentence.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
Damn. Angel said, "Why the hell are we doing this podcast at night? What the fuck?"
I don't know. But yeah, like in college, it was part of my worst times. Yeah, it was part of my worst times. I got slapped on, but like I got sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And then even
Why
during
is
my
this Asian
freshman
guy
year,
in my
like
bed?
when I go use the bathroom, like I'll hear like a loud pound at like the bathroom door when it's just all by myself. It
Oh
was
my
crazy.
god, dude.
So then like that's why I never spent time at home in Oshkosh. I was usually on campus because like all these crazy things was going on.
Tragic, dude.
And then another like this is a really true story. True story. These are true stories. So this actually happened in this room.
Oh my god.
I'm in right now. So then
Oh no.
I used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings, and then we up close at like midnight, and I'll come home at like midnight and stuff, right? And then
That room right there, guys.
and then like
That room that he's in right now.
some days if I get up early enough, I'll go Walmart shopping, right? And then like I was too lazy to like put my Walmart bags in like our drawer. Just throw Walmart bags in my room.
I remember this story, dude. You tell me this all the time.
And so then like I didn't have my queen. I had a twin size bed, right? So one night during my senior year, right? One night during my senior year, right? It's like early in the morning. It's like at 6, right?
Yeah.
And then like I knew my alarm was going off,
They
but
made
then
the
I'm like,
drawings
oh,
of
you
the
know what?
wall.
Like
Omega
I'll wait till
lol.
my alarm goes off. And then I realized that I felt like some pressure, like leaving off on my bed.
Yeah.
And then like because I usually sleep on my side,
Yeah.
on the left side, right? On my left side. So then I felt some pressure like leaving from the back of me, like they was like sleeping parallel next to me. And then, like they like got up and then like the bed sink where like my butt was, and then they got up and I felt the pressure relieved, and then and I heard steppings on like on the bags, like it was like actual step, and like the bags were like creak out and stuff, and I'm just like, oh
Dead.
my god, like what the hell is going
Dead.
on?
Just dead, dude.
And then like I was waiting for my alarm to go off, so I can actually hear them get up and like run to the bathroom. Yeah, so pretty scary stuff.
And you just cried.
Yeah, I did.
That's me, dude. That's me.
Okay, so that's all my experiences. Some of my experiences, not all of them.
I mean, I could tell all of mine, but it would take a long time. So I'm just gonna tell a few. So the house that my grandma lives at right now, my pa,
Yeah.
they've been living there for like the longest time, and like dude, for as long as I can remember, they've been living there, and like a bunch of my cousins and my aunts and uncles and stuff, we've all cycled through that house, like different families living there, because you know it's just part of our family. So we all just, you know, whenever we needed a place to live, someone else would move in, and you know the other family would move out. So yeah, this house is really creepy, and they still live in the house currently to this date. And swear to God, when we lived there that for this one summer, I was like, I want to say I was like 10 or 11, and my cousins and we were playing game like super late at night, and one of my favorite cousins, Sebastian. Everyone's gonna learn to love this guy because he's gonna be part of a lot of stories if we end up telling like millions of stories. But yeah, he and I were the only two left like awake because he was playing, or we were taking turns playing RuneScape and playing Super Smash Bros. So one night we're playing, right, and there's like, okay, to describe the scene, there's like a wall to the left where we usually slept, and then we put the table like at the end of the wall, and then we put the TV there with the GameCube. Rest in peace, GameCubes. And then like over to the corner of the like to the right of the room was the computer, and if you looked left from the computer, you could see the hallway, and the hallway was like it leads to where the bedrooms are, and like right after the hallway entrance is the bathroom door.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, is this the house that I usually?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you don't sleep there, so
yeah.
I mean, if you have, okay, you slept there one time, but it wasn't that bad.
Because I feel like we slept upstairs, though. You don't want to be like slept upstairs.
Yeah, no, it's the whole house, bro. It's the whole house. But yeah,
but we kind of covered. I mean,
yeah. But anyway, so like you can see the entrance to like the hallway in the bathroom from the corner if you like just peek your eye, like in the corner of your eye. So he and I were playing, or he was playing Super Smash Bros while I was playing RuneScape. And then I was like, hey Sebastian, I need to go to the bathroom because we were getting really tired, and I was like, I need to go to the bathroom, you want to go? Because we were both scared anyway. Yeah. So he's like, sure. And then he's like playing, and I was like, okay, I'm almost done. And then all of a sudden, he was like in the middle of a huge fight on Super Smash Bros. And then he just stopped. And then I just hear his character die. And I'm like, are you okay, Sebastian? Why'd you stop playing? And then he just like froze for like a good 20 to 30 seconds. And then he's like, Stefan, don't look towards the hallway because there's something there and I can't figure out what it is. So from the corner of my eye, I see this like really tall, like white figure, and it had like long hair, long flowing hair. And I'm like, I don't want to go bathroom anymore. And then like I was trying to turn off the computer so we could go to sleep, and I'm like, Sebastian, just pretend that it's not there. We're gonna turn everything off, and we're gonna go to sleep, okay? And he's like, okay. So we turned off the computer, turned off the GameCube, turned off the TV. We went to we laid down because our spots were like right next to each other, so we laid down, and then friggin' as we were laying down and we like faced each other, we'd hear like or feel and hear like footsteps coming towards the living room that we were sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were just freaking out, and we just like looked at each other, and we didn't try to look anywhere because we were just like laying on our sides looking at each other the whole time. And we were like, yeah, let's just pretend that nothing's there. Don't look away, don't look up, don't do whatever. We're just gonna look at each other, and we're just gonna keep talking to each other because everyone else is asleep and we don't want to wake them up and freak them out too. So we're just sitting there, like laying there, whispering to each other. Woo! And then we could like feel, because we were like on the edge, because everyone else was like sleeping towards the wall, and we were the ones on the edge, and I could feel, because I was on the very edge, I felt something like walk up behind me, and I'm just like, Sebastian, just focus on me, buddy, just focus on me, don't look. And it's just like, oh no. So we end up falling asleep. Next morning, we were the first ones to wake up because we were both still freaked out, and we both still needed to go to the bathroom really, really bad. So we wake up and we looked at the computer and the GameCube. All the wires were pulled out. Like something was really mad and pulled out all the wires. And then the TV, it was on, but the wire was pulled out. Like the power cord.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, how is this possible? But yeah, we stopped sleeping in that living room for like 2 weeks. we let everyone know like a week later that that happened, and they're like, wow, and you guys let us sleep in the living room. So it was like it was my older brother Damon, and then Sebastian's like 3 younger siblings that kept sleeping in the living room, while me and him always went and slept in the room. We just ditched them like every night, and we even stopped playing game really late, and we just let them play, and we just went to sleep because we were just so scared. Dude, it was the worst.
Like, don't you have like another story with Sebastian and Damon, well, like in like that house too?
Dude, there's that house is just full of stories, bro. All right, so where's Pong? Pong couldn't make it because he's working. Yeah. Jenny. But yeah, there was another scary story, and like, okay, I was home by myself, and not by myself, but it was me and my ball, and it was like my junior year of high school when I came back from Vegas, and like I've always hated that house, and it always gave me the creeps. But this one time, it was just me and her, and she was like, oh, can you go move some stuff in the basement for me? Like plants and stuff. And I still had that inkling that, like, you know, the house is still creepy, but I was like, I'm older, this shouldn't freak me out, you know? So I'm like, sure, I'll go and move all the stuff. So I'm moving the stuff, right? And then I move like almost everything out, and then there's like 2 big plants left downstairs. And then I opened the door to like go downstairs, and then the lights were off, and I was like, "Bah, did you turn off the lights?" And she was like, "No, why?" And I was like, "Because they're off." And I went to flip the switch, and they were just dead. And then she was like, I just changed the bulb yesterday, so I don't know why it would be dead. And then I look, because I was talking to her and I was facing her, like where her direction, because she was
Yeah.
like at her room. So then I turn back and I look down the stairs, and there's this like little girl in Hmong clothes standing at the bottom of the fucking stairs, dude. And I'm just like, I don't think I want to move these plants anymore. So I'm like, Bah, there's a little girl standing at the bottom of the stairs. And then she was like, oh, don't mind her. That's just my best friend from when I was a little kid. And I was like, oh my god. Why do you have to tell me that? And then she's like, oh, don't worry. She's not going to do anything. And I'm like, she's standing at the goddamn bottom of the stairs. I am not going down there to move anything anymore for you ever. And she's just like, she walks over to me and then she's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll go down there and move it then. And then when I look back down the stairs, gone. And I was like, okay, Paul, I'm going home. I will see you in like 2 weeks. I'm not coming back for 2 weeks. So yeah. Yeah, that was like one of the worst experience, like recent ones. So
That's my best friend.
yeah, and she told me the story like a month after, and it was her best friend from when she was a child, and her best friend drowned. So yeah, it was kind of sad, but also really freaky. Because like, okay, another thing is like superstitions and like taboo, or not taboos, but like myths. A lot of OGs, like the elders and stuff, they have stories about their friends and stuff passing away, and supposedly a lot of their friends and stuff, their spirits followed them to the States, and that's really creepy.
Yeah, like I heard a story where like this guy,
the one about I can tell that one too.
Soda, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, like he was dating this one girl back in Thailand. Like, this was back in Thailand. So then like it's like during the war. So then
yes,
like
my grandma was shaman, but now she is
married like after all this, right?
She is
so
now
then, like,
converted to Christianity.
to the States. And then like her family is still in Thailand, and then she gets killed off, right?
Yeah.
So then like she is like wandering all over Thailand, like kind of like trying to find this guy, and then somehow she's in the States now.
Yeah.
In Minnesota.
I'll tell the story in a second after
Because I read this on Facebook, that Mongol story page.
Yeah.
Where like I guess you can kind of see her at like the Como Park Zoo.
What the, bro?
Yeah.
We're about to go to a field trip there. Why are you telling me this shit?
I don't know. But
oh my god, I don't want to go anymore.
So I'm not sure that you can. I mean, I've just read this on that Facebook ghost.
Oh my god.
That ghost story page. So I'm not sure if it's real or not. Because like, I go to the July 4th tournament, but like.
Oh yeah, and it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. But then like, I've never been to the park. Like I've never been to the zoo. I've just stayed at the park.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's scary stuff.
Okay. Well, Angel wants me to tell her favorite story that happened to me, and this is the most recent thing that has happened to me, especially at that house. Okay, so it was I want to say it was like junior year of college. Okay, so this is like 3-4 years ago, or like 3 years ago almost now. So so I went home for break, and then I was like, oh, I'll go visit my pa, because I haven't seen her since like the last time I came home, and the last time I went home was like a whole year, you know?
Yeah.
Because during college I rarely went home, but I was like, yeah, I'll go visit her. So I will go over, and because the door is usually open if someone's home, and it was locked, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm pretty sure whoever's home is just sleeping. So I go inside. I unlock the door. I go inside, and then I go to see if my ball is home, and her door is closed. And then I knock on the door. And I'm like, "Oh, ball, are you home?" And then she's like, she didn't say anything. So I open the door, right, and I go in, and then there's her a figure on the bed, under the blanket. Yeah. So I go over there, and I'm shaking it. I'm like, "Oh, ball, are you awake?" And then doesn't respond, doesn't say anything, and it's the same shape and figure of how my ball would be like. And I'm like, okay, I guess she's just sleeping, 'cause she was super tired or something. Because I remember the week before, my aunt was telling me that she went to the garden, or she's been going to the garden a lot. So I was like, okay. And then I was shaking her, and I was like, oh, maybe she's just sleeping then, and I'll just come back later when she's not sleeping. And then as I'm walking out of her room, I get a phone call, and I'm not paying attention to who it is. And at the last second, as I'm picking it up, I'm like, it says "Paul," and I pick up, and I'm like, "Oh, Paul, where are you?" And then she's like, "Oh, I'm at the casino right now with my friends." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck is that right there then?" And I turn back towards the bed, and I see the figure up, and all of a sudden it just falls flat, and I'm just like, "Yep, fuck this shit, I'm going." And I just walk out of the house, I lock the door, and I'm just like, I hide the key back where it's supposed to be hidden. I fucking jump in my car, and I just leave. I'm like, I'm not coming back. I called her later that day. I'm like, there was something in the house. I'm not fucking coming back until next year. See ya. And then she's like, oh no, just come back. I'm like, hell no. Hell no, 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 no. So after that, I went back to my mom's house, and I just pretended nothing happened, took regular break, and I went back to school, and I didn't come back for a year. So I was just like, oh my god, dude. And that's the most recent thing that's happened. So yeah, scary shit.
Damn.
Yeah, it was tragedy, to say the least. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think we should move on because these stories were kind of.
No, so then this comes from Jenny, right?
Okay.
So her nya's side of the this happened to her nya's family, and so now one night they're watching this scary Hmong ghost movie, right? And then
hell no, dude! I would never do that, Alexa.
Then
I would die.
The ghost is called my team. I think.
Oh my!
So I'm hoping that I'm saying it right. So then what happened was after the movie the sisters was telling to the kids was don't be naughty, or else the ghost will come and get you.
Oh my god!
Right? And then so a week goes by, right? And one of the kids gets really sick.
Yeah.
Right? It's really sick. And then they're so the family kind of gets scared. They do the shaman thing. And then what is it? And then one day, and then the shaman goes, who's my team? Or rather, whatever, right? Yeah. And then so the family goes, oh, it's just a made up person that we got kind of lied to the kids, right? And so the shaman goes, well, she's here for
heck
the kids.
No, dude.
And I'm just
that's the protector.
I don't know what else happened. Cause then this isn't my story. I'm just reading it off. But truth be told, don't say those things.
Wait, don't say what things?
Don't start making up random people.
Oh yeah.
You know, don't made up. Because then like
You could
like
accidentally like
yeah,
call someone. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that's one of the like the myth or like the taboo that like in the Hmong culture, like don't like what is it?
Yes, they are the
One
guardians.
taboo that like I'm always told is like never like boast yourself or like never make yourself too cocky, like late
Yeah.
at night, right? And then I'm always why is that? And like I've never gotten told the reason why, but then like with Facebook research on those Mongol story page, I kind of understand why. Because then like if you kind of like get too full of yourself, like you attract things,
No, it's not a green
and then
screen.
those things would kind of like want you, and it's just kind of like a downhill slope.
Yeah, dude. Scary stuff. Oh, like another myth that I can kind of touch on is the one where if you like make an opening with like your body, you shouldn't look through it at night. And like,
Or don't look under your legs.
oh yeah, well, because it makes an opening.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
like a portal to
Yeah.
the dead. But yeah, you shouldn't do that. And trying to like, my uncle told me that, and he was trying to be funny, and he's like, if you end up looking through it and you see something, make sure you don't run, because if you run, they're gonna run after you. So if you
Yeah.
do it, just speed walk and you're gonna be fine. And he's like mocking it, and he's like this, and he's like. And I'm just like, wow, dude, why you gotta do this to me?
Why you do this?
Right?
So what is it? There's like
But
this
Fish is
story
destroying
where
his cat tower. That's what
this
he's doing. Yes, like a body
bachelor, this
opening.
single guy goes like laid out, and like this is in like Thailand, so he goes laid out at night to go court some girls,
Poke a
go
hole.
talk to some girls into
Oh
the
my
other
god.
village. You know, like when like we say that, it takes about like the whole day to walk to the other village, and it's like basically in like a 6 hour walk there and a 6 hour walk back,
Yeah.
basically. So this guy gets to the girls' village, and then he like spends an hour or two, and then he's walking back. It's like late at night, right? And then so then he gets tired, and then like he sees this girl, and then like the girl goes, oh, you know, like you can come and sleep over at my place for the night.
Heck no.
And then like so then he's like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, because I'm tired, right? So then like he goes sleeping, and then like he's like smelling, like it's like smells kind of weird, right? Smells kind of weird. So then like, and so then he did like he like did that opening, and then he sees that the girl's like rotting,
Oh my.
and so then like he's like, oh well, gotta go, I gotta go out to pee, right? Because I don't want to pee inside the house. I want to go out to pee. So the girl goes, okay, well here's a string. So then like once it's done, you like the string will guide you back into the
Oh
house.
my god.
So then on the way out, he sees like this kennel, and then like and then he ties the string to like the corner of the house, and then he like puts the kennel on. He runs off. He runs off. He like books it, and like the girl calls him and stuff, and then like and then the girl comes outside, sees that he's off, and then so what like happens is the girl's chasing after him, like so it's booking it after him,
Yeah.
and then like he's running, and then he realized that he can't outrun this the ghost. So then what he does is like he jumps outside of like the road and hides in like a bush. He hides in like a bush, and then so he's hiding, and then he's like the girl like just running past, but then the girl kind of smells him but can't see him because he's behind a bush, and so like the girl starts calling his name and stuff, and then like he stays there till like morning, and then he books off to his own village. He gets sick, of course, and then they did the shaman, and they changed his name and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another myth. Like if you get like chased or whatever, you have to change your name so they don't
Yeah.
know who you are.
Yeah.
Creepy. Okay, anyway, let's move away from these ghost stories for a little bit and see if we can answer some of the other questions. Oh yeah, by the way, thank you to Tommy for giving us some questions. Thanks. You're the real MVP, bro. But all right, is there any other questions that are not ghost related?
I guess we kind of answered number 3, and because number 3 is did you listen to the Hmong? My answer, no, I don't, because I'm scared. I am a scaredy cat. I don't do none of those scary stuff, so I'm good. So no.
Yeah, me too.
Number 4. Do you have like experiences with sleep paralysis?
Oh yeah.
Or like
I haven't in a long time, but
me too, and I'm super lucky.
yeah. I think the last time I got it was probably when I was a little, not a little kid, but maybe like I want to say sophomore year of high school was the last time.
Okay.
But like I know how to induce sleep paralysis myself. Like I've done it that way, but it's not the same as, you know, when you get sat on. You know. Not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. What I found, what trick works for me most is that if I'm sleeping on my side, I realize that if I cross my arms like this while sleeping, like kind of folding my arms like this, is that like if I do get slapped on or get sat on, you know, or sleep paralysis, I can kind of move my fingers just enough to kind of like pinch myself,
Yeah.
that pain to kind of get out of it. But by saying that, I also had a point where it was inception, where I got out of one and then I got immediately got into one again. Just like no.
Okay, Vong. Alexa wants you to explain what sleep paralysis is.
So sleep paralysis, it's kind of like when you're sleeping, and then like and then your brain wakes up. I guess your brain wakes up, and then you have like full understanding of what's going on around you, but your body can't like you can't move like a lot of things, like you can't get up, you can't like move your like your legs or your arms, but then you can move like your toe and like fingers. And
yeah,
for me, that's the most that I have been able to move. I don't know about you, but then for me, I've never had sleep paralysis. Like I just like wake up and then I'm frozen.
yeah.
I have it where like it's kind of like I got sat on by the ghost, where like I'm sleeping and in my dream I'm getting slapped on, or like something's crushing me, and then like it's kind of like sleep paralysis where I know what's going on with me, but I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
But then I know that it's just all a dream.
Yeah.
And so I need to get myself out of that dream, kind of like stuff.
So like, yeah, my experience with sleep paralysis is, or getting sat on or slept on, is kind of like that too. It's like when I was young, I couldn't move at all. Like I had full consciousness of understanding that I was awake, and like I could open my eyes, but I couldn't move my body. So it's like you're physically paralyzed, but you have like mental awareness of what's happening around you and your surroundings. And then like you just can't do anything. But because I used to do this like my senior year of high school and like before college, I could induce my own sleep paralysis, and by doing that, it was because I would dehydrate myself, and I would stay awake as long as I could, and if I felt like I was falling asleep, I would just force myself to wake back up, and that's a way to induce sleep paralysis by yourself. And it's supposed to be like it's you disrupting your REM sleep, like your REM sleep cycle. So yeah. Yeah, fucking Teddy, he's barking. But yeah, when
So
you
yeah,
induce it yourself, it's really eye opening and it makes you
why
more
would you?
aware.
Like
Why would
why?
you do that?
Why?
Because
It
it
sounds like a trap.
okay,
It sounds like you're opening, be like, you know what? Come at me. Like I'm not
it's
gonna do
okay.
that.
If you look at it in like a psychological or like a psychiatric standpoint, sleep paralysis is, especially when you induce it yourself, it's to face your own fears. So that's what I did, and I used to do that a lot. Like for that whole summer before I chose not to go to college, I did that. And it was very eye opening and it made me very self aware, and you know, it just it helped me kind of conquer my fears but understand them better rather than conquer them. So but yeah, anyway, that's a tangent. Yeah, that's what sleep paralysis is.
I wouldn't do it. That's a trap.
I mean, yeah, it helps. It can help you mentally and like make you mentally like more aware of your own being, and
Mhm.
you know, stuff like that. So I mean, if you ever wanted to try it, it could
No,
be a trap, but it also could free you of your own.
no, no. I'll pass. I'll pass. I'll pass. That's a trap. That's a trap, dude. That's a trap. It's like it's like knowing like going downstairs, like you know what's gonna happen, but then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna face my fears and hopefully like nothing pops out. But then at the same time, it's just like this lights. Why
Right.
am I risking this? Just another light.
Right.
It'll be fine. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Have you ever tried looking under the shaman during the ceremony?
Hell no.
No, that's a definite.
Hell no. That's a definite hell no.
That's all I. That's like a trap.
That is a
A
trap.
trap. That's like a definite trap. Like, why would you do that? Like, I'm already scared enough when like they're doing the ceremony sometimes. I'm like, why would you try to look?
Right?
It's a trap. But what is it? So I haven't experienced this, but then my parents told me this one story where like the shaman one was doing their thing, and then the shaman stops, you know, and then the shaman starts screaming or starts yelling. It's like, get out of here and stuff. And then like this was when the door is open too. The door wasn't like fully open, but it was like halfway open, and the door closes like full on closes out, like slams shut, and then like everyone gets spooked out, and then like the person that's watching the shaman's like, it's okay. And I'm just like, you know what? Like that story is already spooky enough. Like, why would I try to look under the mask? That's no definite trap right there.
It's always a trap, dude. It's always a trap. That's all I gotta say. Especially when it comes to like creepy ghost stuff or like sleep paralysis shit. Oh my god, it's always a trap.
Yeah, it sounds like the person that's like, yeah, I like induce
Oh, I mean, well, that was for my own, mental
personal growth.
awareness. Okay.
That's my own personal growth. That's a trap, dude. Don't do that, kids. You don't want to experience it at all. Just yeah, don't. Next question: would you ever make a blood promise to a loved one?
No,
Definitely no.
no,
No.
that's a big no for me.
that's
Simon
that's
Cowell, that's a big no.
it's a trap.
Yeah, that's a
That's
trap.
like the Star Wars Family Guy. It's a trap. That's a trap. Don't do it. And also for the viewers or listeners, what's a blood promise? Blood promise is like when you and your loved one, right, get into like this relationship, and then you go, oh, let's drink each other's bloods. And so you poke a needle through your finger, your loved one pokes a needle through their finger, and then like.
And then you mesh your fingers together.
No.
Yeah, that is what it is. Well, okay, or you could do like this fucking signature shit.
Like, you pour it in like a cup, and just
like an orgy.
You know, so I drink your blood, and then you like drink my. That's a trap. Don't do it.
Yes.
Because then, like,
bloodborne
I've heard
pathogens.
stories
Yes.
where like one
Very much
person passes away, you know, and that the person that passes and like one survives, you know, and
Yeah.
like the one that passes away just comes back and tries to get the person that's and then like it's just like constant torture and like constant suffering, so that person will pass away as well too.
Yeah. All right. Is there any other question? If not, I'm gonna ask a question that Angel had asked or suggested. So what she asked was, why do superstitions happen within certain cultures or communities of people, and how do they end up becoming superstitions or myths or taboos?
I mean, I think this is my question or my answer.
No promise, Magic Johnson.
For the superstition part, it's something that like we can't explain why this happens. Like scientifically, we like, especially for the Hmong culture, I guess, like we can't scientifically explain why doing this happens, and then like let's say like I don't know what's a good super, like pointing at the moon, right? Pointing at the moon.
Yeah.
Like we can't explain why, like if you point at the moon, why does your ear get cut? Like we can't explain why, like if you point at the moon, why like does your ear get cut? Like we just can't explain why. So then like that's why like it's just like a superstition / taboo. It's like just don't point at the moon, and then your ear won't get cut.
Yeah.
And I mean like it's also another thing too was that like since you and I are also shamanistic, was that like we have these shamans and then like they'll go like, oh well, like let's say you walk a different path or like you'll cross onto something and then like that something just follow you on home. But then like you don't know what you cross or like what you like came across on. It's just so to happen. But then next thing you know you're sick. Or like you get like these experiences like sleep paralysis or like all the other things or like hearing like bags getting stepped on when it's just you all like you know what I mean, like it's just one of those things, but like I don't know how to explain it because like I feel like I didn't do nothing wrong. Like I woke up at 6, I go running, but I hear bags getting stepped around in my room. Kind of scary.
Yeah,
kind of like that. It's kind of like, because for me superstition is kind of like something that I myself can't explain and can't scientifically explain why it's happening.
Yes, and for everyone else watching, Vong and I are very logical, and we base a lot of our findings, like our own personal findings, on science, because that's the easiest way to prove something wrong or right. So yeah. But I think to answer the first part of the question, why like these superstitions only happen to these certain communities or cultures, is because it becomes like a communal belief. Like everyone begins to believe it. So if everyone, especially in that one community, starts to believe that that's true, then it's gonna be true, and it's gonna be pushed into your mind, and you're gonna end up being like, it's because of this, or like XYZ, and that's why this happens, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's true because I was thinking that, and then bam, it happened. It's like it's your own mental weakness, people would say. Yes, as the Koreans would say, weak mental.
Weak mental. And then also just adding on, like, a really, what is it? Superstition. I kind of like I didn't like really know this superstition, I guess, was to never pee into a river or a stream, right?
Why is
Like
that?
well, like, and then like that's like the reason why, like, I like never really knew why. But then like they were saying, well, my parents, someone was like, if you are in the water and if you do that, that's okay. But if you're like just like on the like shore and you pee into it, it's kind of like a disrespect to like
To the water?
the water watcher, I guess.
The dragon?
Yeah, the dragon,
Yeah.
or like stuff. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I guess I just won't pee when I'm on the shore and just won't pee into rivers or streams. That's a big no-no.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot of weird things that Hmong people believe. So, all right.
Like, okay, yeah. So next question.
Anything else?
Um, so next question is, what is your stance on people with the same last name dating slash marriage?
I mean, personally, I don't do that stuff. That's just kind of weird. Just because of all the things that Hmong people believe and how they are very. When I say very judgmental, I mean like
Hardcore.
over the top. Like they make everything so dramatic. But I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that I don't do it myself personally, especially because my fiance is not a Lee. And but I've known people to have either dated in the same clan or married in the same clan. But yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like, yeah, I'm like, I'm agreeing with. I myself don't like look down on people, I guess, because then like it's
Yeah.
just like,
It's
well, that's
it's
love,
not my life, you know.
like that's it, like that's love, that's it. Like
Yeah.
like you can't do nothing about it. Like, but then it's more of the fact that like I myself wouldn't do it, but then like
Yes.
I can't be like, well, you should live like how I live, not like date the people in your same clan or marry the people in like your same clan. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just like, for me, I'm just like, if that works for you, I guess that works for you. But I'm not gonna be judging like, oh well, you marry your like same last name, or like you marry your cousin or whatever, and like be like all about it, you know? And just like, but then I'm just like, well, you know, like that's it. Like you can't do nothing about it. But
Yeah.
then like, I wouldn't do it myself. But
Okay,
I'm not.
what's really weird is that Hmong people will judge you if you date within your clan, but they won't say anything if you date or you marry, say, your mom's
Good.
cousin's daughter. They wouldn't say
Yeah.
anything. So that's more weird to me that they would be okay with the second part, but not the first part. Like, say it's the same last name, but from like somewhere totally different, from like California or whatever, and you guys have like no clan relation, you know? But you have the same last name. So technically you're the same clan, so you can't. And it just doesn't make any sense at all.
I mean, like, I agree to a point, but then at the same time, like I've been ingrained to like just don't date any genre, just don't.
Yeah.
It's a trap. Don't do it.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But then like it feels weird. Like I'm agreeing with you on like this part, because then like I've seen people or known people where like they will basically kind of date like their niece, but
Yeah,
like
dude,
niece,
that's so weird.
like let's say the person is like a yang, right? And
Yeah.
like the niece is like a Tao. But then it's just like you're basically marrying your niece.
Yeah, that's
It's
super weird.
okay, but I'm at the same time it's like that's weird because you're marrying your niece. Now you
Yeah.
have to call what your cousin, I guess, father-in-law. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
like
super weird.
okay, and yeah. So
But okay, even if you say it that way too, it's weird because Hmong people consider like we go outside of like the nuclear family and say that these are our uncles or our cousins and stuff when they're like our parents' cousins or whatever. You know?
yeah, it's like why am I related to you? You have no immediate family relation to me.
Yeah,
Like why am I calling you my uncle?
yeah, or your aunt,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
you know, it's just like.
Okay,
But then
it's like that one Vine that Johnny made. You remember that one?
I think I do. I
But
think I
yeah,
do.
跟你读宝读，对对对。But yeah, shout out to Johnny, dude.
Come on, come on, who law? Like what?
Yeah, but
Makes
it's like
absolutely
that,
no
dude.
sense.
It's so weird. Hmong people are weird as fuck. To be frank.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Awkward in silence.
Yes.
Okay, next question. What do you think happens to us after death? Do you believe in an afterlife, heaven, hell, purgatory, whatever, right? Roaming as ghosts, reincarnation. So, really, the main question is,
You're such an
what happens
outcast. No,
to
you're
us
not.
after?
You just don't understand it. What do you believe?
What do I believe?
Yeah.
I, I'm like a troll on this.
What the fuck?
Like
Fish has a
I feel
question. No, he
like it's
doesn't.
like
He's
all
just mad.
intertwined. Like when a person dies, you know, and then like they see that light, whatever. It could be like
Ooh.
it could be like the start of like of your next life. So it could be like kind of be like reincarnation,
Yeah.
but then it could also be roaming as ghosts as well. I mean, like most of our stories that we've told today was or tonight was mostly about ghosts roaming around.
Yeah. Or spirits.
Yeah, or spirits, right? So then, I mean, yeah, technically there could be roaming as ghosts, but I also believe that there is reincarnation as well too. I mean, like, I think the light that when you see when you die, that's also the light of you getting reborn.
Coming into the new
Yeah,
life.
to a new life. Um, do I believe in heaven and hell? Sort of, I guess. But then like I'm kind of weird because I'm a troll for like that part. Because then like, what if like somebody just gave a really bad, what's like somebody's biased and gave hell a really poor rating? You know what I mean? And
Yes.
somebody gave having a really good rating. I don't know. So that's my take on it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that sound nice on paper, but if you use any of those things to romanticize what happens after death, that's what you use, right? But
Yeah.
if you look at it through a scientific lens, then it's just like once you die, all your neurons just shut down, and before they shut down, it just they all just go crazy and pulsate, and bam, that's why you see the light, because you're flashing
Yeah.
through every single experience that you've ever had in your whole life. And then once that's done, your brain just dead. Your heartbeat stops, your brain function stops. It's just, yeah, just over, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I think, or that's how I feel. But all the other things are just like romanticized solutions to death. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Right.
Should we end it on that?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right. No creepy stuff for the end. Just
Yeah.
perfect
Just
right there.
perfect.
We'll leave it as that.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for all the viewers,
Yeah.
listeners, for coming every week.
Depressing
Just
ending.
This is
That
such
is
a
not a
depressing.
depressing ending. What the hell? But yeah, thank you to the viewers that showed up, that always show up, that don't always show up. We we do this because we enjoy talking to each other, and we also love sharing experiences and our ideas and thoughts. So thank you guys. Um,
Thank
if you guys are part of the Discord or in the Discord, I try to, you know, ask questions and ask for you guys' opinions and help for like new topics and questions within topics. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you go over to the Discord and join. If you just do exclamation point Discord, you can join us and help us expand our thieves den. All right. So I think that's good. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to my awesome co-host for coming out tonight, telling stories and ghosts and stuff.
Ghost stories. Now I need to walk Zeus right now. Yeah.
Oof. All right, dude.
Probably gonna be a short walk.
All right. Everyone have a good night. Peace.
Have a good night. Peace. See you next week.
Heck yeah, dude.